Alright, you guys, watch this. All it takes is one tiny API call inside Voiceflow, and boom, n8n takes over and does everything else for you. This is the second video in this series where we'll build the front end in Voiceflow and send data to n8n to do the actual booking. And if you didn't watch the first video, I'll put the link somewhere around here so you can go ahead and watch that. So without further ado, let's do it. All right, so let me quickly show you what we are going to work on today. So here's the front end part on Voiceflow side. So this is what we are going to work on. In the last video, we covered this part. We implemented the back end. So now let's go ahead and implement the front end in Voiceflow. Before we jump into the Voiceflow, let me quickly run the scenario and show you how it works. So here I'm in my Voiceflow account, and this is the workflow I've created for this one. Let me run this one and show you how it works. So I'm going to choose new appointment, and it's asking for the name. Let's say John Doe, an email address. Let me give my email address so we can see the notifications working. An appointment. Let me open up my calendar, and today is 22nd. Let's say we'll go for tomorrow. Let's say 8 a.m. Okay, say tomorrow at 8 a.m. All right, let's see what happens. Now it is calling the API, as you can see here, and it is going through this workflow that we created in the last video. And let me go to executions and show you. This is 22nd, and as you can see, it has gone through this path. All of these we covered in the last video. If you didn't watch that, I highly recommend you go ahead and do that. So let me check the response. As you can see here, status is confirmed. And let me open up my calendar, and as you can see, meeting with John Doe is done. And if you go to the email address, you can see the notification here. All right, so that is how it works. Let me close this one, and let me walk you through how to build this workflow, this chatbot in Voiceflow. Let's do it. To give you an overall understanding about the workflow that we are going to build, first we are going to get the inputs from the user. As you already know, 3 inputs we are going to collect from the user, that is the name, email address, and the date for the appointment. After collecting those data, we are going to call n8n API. That means we are going to call the webhook that we created in the previous video, and we are going to send data over to n8n. Here, if the time slot is available, we'll get a success message back to Voiceflow. If the time slot was not available, we'll get 3 available alternatives that we can present to the user. After that, we can send it back to the API and go ahead and book the new appointment according to the new time slot. All right, so let's move on to the Voiceflow workflow. So the first thing, I'm not going to explain a lot about how to build these collecting data parts and things like that. We'll focus on the integration part in this video. So let me quickly walk you through what's happening right here. So this is the trigger, as you know. So it's starting when we click on this run button, and this is the welcome message and asking for what the user want to do, whether it's to create a new appointment, cancel booking, and rescheduling a booking. So these functions we'll cover in the next videos, canceling a booking and rescheduling. So at this point, the only available option is creating a new appointment. So these are buttons. As you can see, these are buttons, and I've connected only the new appointment button so far. It is going to the next step right here. These steps are to collect the 3 inputs that we need. So here we are asking for the full name, email address, and the start date. And I'm using capture entities step to capture the name, email address, and the start date as well. So after that, I'm just giving the user a waiting message saying, okay, give me a second to check the availability and book the appointment. After that, we are using API call here. If you go to dev and API call. So let's slow down and focus on this part right now. So the first thing is the get and the webhook URL. As you can remember from the previous one, let me go to here. Now here's the webhook that we created, and in the first video, as you can remember, just to test this flow, we created another workflow inside n8n and used HTTP request node to call this webhook. Now we don't need that anymore because we are going to do that in Voiceflow. So open up the webhook and you have to go to the production URL, get, copy this one, copy the webhook URL, and come here and paste that URL here. As you can see, this is the same URL. Okay, now we have to make sure the HTTP method is the same. As you can see, it is a get method, and here as well we are using the same method. Okay, now for the parameters, I'm sending these collected data or variables to send over to the webhook. All right, and capture response part is very important. That's how we capture the response that is coming from n8n side. You might remember we used respond to webhook nodes at the end of each path. All this does is responding, that means sending the data if it is available, if it is successful, or if it is not available, the available time slots, we are sending those details back to Voiceflow. All right, that's what respond to webhook does. So here, now when the response is coming from n8n side, we have to make sure we capture that data so we can use it in Voiceflow side to inform the user. There are 2 responses that we have to catch, but at a given run, that means one execution, there will be only one response. Only one will be sent back to us. Okay, now if you go here, if it was a success, that means it will send this response back to us. Okay, now we don't have any output to see. To see the output, let's go to the execution here, and as you can see, there's a output here. What we have to do is we have to check for this status if it is confirmed or not. If it is confirmed, now we know the calendar event has been successfully created. Okay, now if it was not available, we have to send 3 available time slots back to Voiceflow, remember? So how would that work is, okay, let me open one execution that went through that part. Okay, we can see it went through this part and respond to a hook with available time slots. Okay, so here you can see 3 available time slots. Right now we have to capture this one instead of the status. Now here the status is not available in this response. Okay, only available time slots are available. So to do that, I'm catching that one over here. So first let me show you how we are catching the status for the successful creation of that appointment. Okay, now here it is. Now in the capture response, you can click on this, and first thing you have to do is you have to create a new variable, and that's what I have done here. You can see the new variable is n8n response. Okay, so after creating a new variable, you have to focus on setting up the object path. Now this is very important. How you have to do this is you have to look into the response, the actual response that is coming in, and according to that we have to set the path to that specific variable. That means in this case we have to catch the status variable, right? So we have to find what is the path in the JSON structure, and we have to give that path very clearly and correctly in order to get this work. Okay, so how can you look, how can you check the response that is coming in? So what we can do is we can do a test run here. Now you are in this API step here. We can just send a test request and get the response back. Okay, let's click on this send button, which will open this pop-up for us to manually enter these 3 inputs. Okay, let's say now we are giving let's give a new appointment for a new date. Let's say coming Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, let me go to the calendar and make sure there is nothing on Monday. Yeah, it's clear. So email address, let's give it a test one, and the name, now you can click on this one. Now it is sending a test request. Okay, as you can see, now we got a response back from n8n side. Okay, now as you can see, we have this status variable here. Okay, where is it? That is under 0. Okay, we have to find the path here. Okay, now this is under 0 and status. All right, it is not nested inside any of these other objects inside this JSON. It is outside, directly outside of this element right here, which is 0. Okay, now let me copy this just in case we need it at a later point. I'm gonna save this one in a notepad. Now we know the path now. Okay, now let's close this one and set it. Okay, here as you can see, I've given 0 dot status. All right, that's the object path. Okay, now let me open this one up. Now let's say we wanted to catch this variable, date time variable. How can you give that path? Okay, it is going to be 0 because this is the parent element here, 0 and id. No, start, is it inside the start? No, it is inside this end item, end object, and then date, time. Okay, you get my point now? All right, let's do another one for fun. Okay, let's say we want this email. All right, how can you give? It is inside 0 dot, it is inside this creator dot and email. All right, I hope you get my point. Okay, that is how you can set the object path. Okay, now here we have set this one correctly. Now let's run this again, and we'll run. Okay, before that, let me go here. Monday, this one has been booked. Okay, you can see this. Now let's try to book another appointment for the same time slot, which is not available now. So it should go through this path and send us 3 available time slots. Okay, now we have to catch it. I'm sorry, we have to catch it on in Voiceflow side. Okay, now first thing you have to do is you have to create a new variable for that. I've done that here, n8n available slots. Okay, now we have to set the appointment, set the object path. Okay, now for that we need to check the actual response. Okay, now to do that, let's send a test request to n8n. Okay, let's give the same date, same time slot. Okay, that means coming Monday at, okay, I forgot the time slot, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Okay, email, you can give anything, gmail.com. Okay, let's send this and wait for the response. Okay, here we have the response now. As you can see, we have 3 available time slots, and it's under what? 0 content, or no, 0 message, content, and available time slots. Okay, hope you get this. Okay, 0 is the parent element, and you have messages, and inside messages you have role and content. Okay, available time slots are inside this content object. Okay, now that's what I have set here. Okay, let me copy this and paste this here. Let me, as you can see, 0 message, content, and available time slots. Okay, so it is done as well. All right, now the API call setup is done. Okay, you have to click this failure path to have this success and failure options. According to that, let's say for some reason this API call failed. Okay, that means, let's say this was we forgot to active make this flow active. That means this resource will not be available, right? So in that case, this API call can go through. So in that case, this will fail. So for these scenarios, we have to make sure we catch, we handle the error. I haven't done a good job here because I just wanted to show you how to do it. According to the failure, you can either retry it or whatever the action you want to take to fix that error. Okay, so I'm just saying here, there was a problem booking the appointment. Would you try to retry it, or do you want to contact our front desk, and you can give the front desk phone number or something. Okay, so if it was success, we are going here to the next one. Okay, and here what we are doing is we are checking the response. That means we remember here we set two variables according to the response, right? If it is success, we are checking for the status and assigning it into n8n response. Okay, if it wasn't success and there was 3 available time slots sent back to us, I'm catching it and storing it in n8n available slots variable, right? So now here I'm using a business logic. Let me open this. What I'm doing here is I'm checking if n8n response is confirmed. Okay, here remember, if it is a successful, the status is going to be confirmed, right? So that's what I'm checking. Okay, if n8n response is confirmed. If it is confirmed, I'm taking through this path and giving a successful message. Okay, your appointment has been booked. If it wasn't a success, that means n8n couldn't book that appointment. That means n8n has sent us 3 available time slots, right? Here what I'm doing is I'm showing those 3 available time slots and asking which one the user prefer to book. All right, so here I'm saying, I'm giving it a message, I'm sorry, the requested time slot is not available. We have these slots available, and this is the variable. As you remember, n8n available time slots. That's what we captured here in this API call, remember? So displaying those available time slots, actually I haven't done anything to format in and present those available time slots in a proper way. That's something you can figure out. I just wanted to show you how to get a response back from n8n side. So there are so many things that you can improve here, and I would love to see how you improve and how you take this concept, these workflows to the next level. Just join my Skool community, and you can post it there. I would love to see it. So the next one, now after presenting those 3 available time slots, I'm again prompting the user to select one of the available time slots. So I'm saying, please let me know which you prefer. Then again, I'm capturing the start date, and then I'm sending it back to here to go through this API call again. Okay, now let me run that and show you how it works. It's going to go through the scenario. Let's say it's a new appointment. Okay, let me give my name around the. Okay, it's asking for the last name, Ranas. Okay, that's fine. Email address, ranasuriya@gmail.com, and it's asking for the date. Okay, let's go for the same one, so we can get the response back with available time slots. That's going to be Monday 10 a.m. Let's say coming Monday 10 a.m. So it's saying I'm sorry, the requested time slot is not available. We have these slots available. This is the part I ask you to do your own thing and format it in a nice way. So let's just go through 20. Okay, that is 22nd from 1 p.m. to 2. Let me go back to the calendar. It is 1 p.m. to 2. Okay, that works. Let's say today 1 p.m. Okay, it's going through here. It's asking for, and you can see your appointment has been booked. Okay, that means it went through this path, successful path. And let's go back to the calendar, and you can see meeting with the Randaranas. So that appointment has been booked. So that's how it works. There's pretty much nothing to this workflow. The most important part is how you call the API or call the webhook on n8n side and capture the response that is coming from respond to webhook node. All right, that is the most important parts of it. Other than that, the rest of the workflow is pretty straightforward and simple. If you don't know how to do this, please put a comment down below, and I'll make a separate video on going through, taking you through these things, how to configure the rest of the workflow. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. By the way, if you want the step-by-step guide and this template I'm using right here, they're free inside my Skool community. Just join, go to the YouTube resources section, and look for the post with the same title as this video. You'll find everything ready to download there.